Prediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it twice a day.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it in the morning and before dinner.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it, and share it with my doctor. Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor.
Now that I know my blood pressure numbers, I talked with my doctor. We're getting those numbers down.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Learn more at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Okay. What's up, guys? Welcome to 93.7 FM, The Ticket. You are watching Court Vision by BTO and Kill. And we are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo Channel 95.1.
Nice. Got them all.
Yep.
And if you guys want to join the show at all, Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. You guys can always engage in the show that way. But nonetheless, we got Killian and Brandon here. It's been a while. What was the name of the show you guys are dubbing this one?
Court Vision.
Court Vision? I like it. All right, what we got on the plate for Court Vision tonight?
And
then we got some NBA talk.
A little bit of
Doane basketball, a little bit of a shooting slump right now, kind of similar to Nebraska basketball. So we got a few things on the board, but what do you want to stab at here first?
Let's start with the Doane basketball.
Okay.
Let's get into this. We're in a little bit of a rough patch right now, and it kind of sucks the situation that we're in, because we lost to 2 teams that we really shouldn't have lost to. Actually, I guess 3 teams if we're counting Hastings as well. 3 teams that we really shouldn't have lost to. And it's just, I don't know. There's a lot of players on the team that are struggling right now, shooting wise, making they're not able to make shots that they usually would make. And that just happens, but it kind of sucks how like all of it is just happening
at the same time.
once.
Oh, so you got a collective shooting slump.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's tough. It's kind of like it's like when Klay Thompson went cold, but at least he could lean on some of the other guys. But that happens. Do you think it's like contagious sometimes for a team?
Sometimes, yeah, because like, I mean, I feel like our team thrives so much on offense. Like if something good happens on offense, the next our defenses, we're up pressuring, we're playing amazing defense. So, with some of our players that usually can make those big shots that help us get momentum like that, not being able to make those shots, I think that really does affect the rest of the team offensively as well.
Yeah, that can always be really tough. Killian, what are your thoughts on the shooting slump right now? That's always the tough one to figure out. How do you, sometimes it's just straight confidence. You need to see one go through, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, we've definitely been struggling a lot. I mean, last game how many attempts? How many attempts we had from the 3-point line?
Not many.
Game? Yeah,
not many.
We're not even shooting them at this point. Like we prefer to dribble drive right now. I don't know. I just think it comes with more confidence. We just need to get more shots up in practice. Trust each other. And just more like trust yourself as well. We have also struggled with our big situation as well. Like we've tried a lot of guys out. So yeah,
our main guy, our big, is
just
out right now. He's out for knee injuries.
Season long or how long?
He should be out for a month now because he has to get some drainage out of his knee. He has to drain his knee because there's like a bunch of liquid building up in there.
The what's it called? Those sacks.
Yes,
there, one of them bust. That's tough.
Yeah, and he's been battling through this injury for at least 2 years now, which
it's been a while.
Yeah, once those things pop, it's very easy to happen again. That's the worst kind of thing. I think it's like something burst a sack. I'm blanking on the title. 402-464-5685. Help me out. But I know once that thing pops, you drain the fluid. The more and more that happens, it's kind of like when you roll your ankle. Brandon, you know about that one.
I just rolled my ankle like last week. I'm not even kidding. I rolled my ankle in practice last week. Probably should have been wearing ankle braces, but
you got to try them out, man. They don't stop it, but they definitely
help a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, next 2 possessions, you got buckets though.
That's true.
Yeah.
I got up and was limping on it a little bit. Got my buckets. We're good.
All right, I'm going to put you guys in the coaching seat. Your team's in a shooting slump. How do you attack that?
That's a tough one. Flood the team with confidence. Tell everybody you want them to shoot the ball.
Stay positive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one.
You got to
keep taking the shots, or do you dribble drive like you guys?
I think you got to keep taking the shots no matter what. Because I mean, if you tell your team to stop taking the shots, it just shows that you don't believe in them, and that's a huge domino effect that'll kill the morale of the team.
So is that something like in practice? Is like, are we dialing up shooting drills? So we're going to keep doing what we're doing, and we're not gonna get shaken up by this. We know who we are. We know we can make these shots. It's just not happening right now. Are you changing up the practices at all, or are you straight up trusting the team? Like this is just the natural process of basketball. It's not always going to be great for you.
I think I would take the approach that our coaches are taking right now, because today we basically we had a practice that was like unlike any other practice. It was just straight skill work. We started with ball handling, then we went into 20-minute shooting, which usually it's 10-minute shooting. Made it 20-minute shooting today.
Nice.
Little bit of post work for everybody, because as of right now, we're also struggling defending in the paint. So being able to because we're an undersized team. Like everybody, like half of our guys on like the starting lineup are usually below 6'2", and everybody else in the GPAC usually has guys that are 6'2" and above. And while it sucks, we know we can play small ball because we've won a lot of big games with our small ball lineup before. And so yeah, like today worked on some more defense inside the paint, and then did some more shooting drills. And it was just a bunch of skill work today. So I appreciated that.
You hear small ball a lot, right? In the NBA, you hear it constantly. The Warriors really got credited a lot for bringing that small ball, 3-point shots. As a regular basketball fan, explain why small ball can be so effective countering teams that want to put 6'5" guys out there on you.
Smaller guards are just faster.
Yeah.
I mean, they can run the floor more.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Just faster.
Just
They're just faster. I mean, yeah.
The only thing is you struggle on defense, though. I
A
mean,
little bit.
If the other guys want to post you up more, I mean,
Unless you got a bunch of Pat Bevs on the team.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then I guess offensively you wouldn't do too well.
Yeah, it's always interesting, right? And in order to play small ball, it feels like you definitely got to be making your shots because the idea of small ball, we're going to stretch you out, so you're going to have to guard us out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're also not playing very fast at the moment either. We have not been pushing the ball in transition.
I think
too
that's
much.
also the confidence.
Yeah.
It just seems like a little bit right now we're just a little shaky as a team, which happens, but I'd rather have this happen at the beginning of the season than later, for sure.
Still loads of games left.
Yes.
Still loads.
Yeah, that's a good point. When does does your season directly kind of coincide with just regular D1 basketball? Or when does your season wrap up?
Probably around the same time.
Yeah, I think it's the same.
Yeah,
I think it's the exact same timeline.
Yeah.
So you guys got plenty of ball.
I thought we were talking more specific, like schedule wise. I'm like,
no,
that's
yeah,
probably
schedule wise.
different.
No, that's definitely different. But I don't timeline wise.
Yes,
like you guys, I think you guys play the same amount of games, right?
Yeah, around the same.
Yeah. So at this point in the season, you don't want to be shook. You don't want to panic. You're doing some extra shooting drills. Is it really just a small thing? Is like confidence? Do you think you guys just need to seeing them drop?
Yes, for sure. I
We
mean,
just need to see a couple go in. That's it.
I mean, we competed with Nebraska pretty well for
the first half,
for a good amount of the game, and there's no reason why we can't compete with these other teams in our league because obviously they're just nowhere near the athletes that we faced at the beginning of the season. So it definitely is a confidence thing. I think we need to just like wake up a little bit and realize who we are.
100%. And then you mentioned the big was hurt. You got any other key injuries that have been slowing you guys down so far?
River was hurt for a little bit.
Yeah.
That definitely hurt. He got injured at one of our skill workouts, which kind of sucked because he was kind of going 40%, little nonchalant layup, and next thing just rolled his ankle and he was gone for a good 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But he's back now.
I think Brady's struggling with his wrist a little bit.
Brady's wrist, he broke his wrist in high school and he's been struggling through that since because that's just something that lingers, doesn't go away.
Yeah, that's always tough. Wrist injuries, guys. Is it a shooting hand?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Oh
man, he falls so hard as well.
Yes, he does fall. Like
he falls a lot as well. So
any little bit of contact that goes the other way that Brady's going, he'll fall and he'll land straight on that wrist. And it's like, I don't know how you do it. I would do everything I could to not land on my wrist.
Is he getting on the line a lot doing that?
He is.
I was gonna say it's probably nice for the free throws. A little bit of Austin Reeves-esque where you just, if they're gonna put any sort of contact on you, you're gonna fly the other way. But is there anything else you guys want to dive into well, let's do this. What are some of the positives? What are things you guys can actually do that you have been seeing working for you that you can really drill down? It's like, okay, no matter what, we can at least bring this night in, night out. We don't have to worry about this lacking.
I would have said, I'd say our defensive side.
Defense?
I'd say we're pretty solid defensively. We struggled a little bit last game, but overall we're normally a pretty solid defensive team. I mean, we held Hastings to 60 points.
Yeah, and Hastings just beat Northwestern, who we're about to go play this weekend.
Okay.
And they're ranked like 15th. They're top 20.
Okay.
That's all I know.
So you got another good opponent coming up. And then talking about defensively, playing that small ball, like how are you guys handling that in the paint? Are you guys doubling as soon as it goes inside and then rotating out? Or are you just trusting one-on-one matchups despite maybe some size disadvantages?
Depends on what big we have in. If we have Matt, we'll normally leave just one-on-one, but smaller bigs, normally one dig bounce.
Okay.
Just make them pick it up and then scramble out.
And then how confident are you guys in your defensive rotations? Because that small ball, that's huge. You got to be quick with that.
Yeah, I think, more recently it's a little bit more shaky and, that's
some injuries that's going to take time to get used to for sure.
Like overall the season, it's been really good. You can there's a lot of games where you can tell that we're just like, seems like we're a well-oiled machine and we're in sync, all working together. And there's some, like, if we just find a way to get that back, which I know we're more than capable of doing. Like this season will turn around completely.
Yeah, we just need that spar.
And you guys talked about intense practices.
Yeah.
What has this kind of skid done for you? Have you guys' practices been really intense lately? You talked about you doing some more shooting drills, skill drills. But when you guys do scrimmage, is it pretty intense?
Yeah, fairly intense. I mean, it's hard because like we're like constantly putting in new stuff. And so, at the same time, you also have to like learn what we're trying to run now and like try to learn what shots you can get out of, what opportunities you can create for others. And so it is intense, but like also at the same time, you also have to take a step back and like kind of learn what we're trying to do.
Sometimes you got to slow down a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And then speaking on confidence, give me what's the Brandon shot? Like this spot of the court, this is the shot I'm going to take. This is where I feel best. Some people it's top of the key, wing, pull up, mid range, jumper. What's the Brandon shot that this was my confidence check? I got to see if I can pull up for this one.
Anything that involves a ball screen and my defender going under the ball screen, I just pull up.
Yeah, I was going to say middle third, guy goes under, Brandon's going to pull it.
Yeah.
Pull it every time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good, right? You got to punish players that want to go under the screens. Like, don't let them be lazy out there. You want to be lazy, I'm going to make you pay for it.
You know, it's hard on the guys because like they're supposed to do that. That's what our defense is, and we're supposed to practice our defense in practices. So, but I just abuse it.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
You got to get comfortable, right? You get that in the game situation. You got to punish, that defense that if they're not going to give you that trust, they're going to be like, oh.
Just like how Guy cheats the plays sometimes. Shout out Guy. I love him, but he cheats the plays sometimes.
He beats on you
like
as well. Like,
yeah, like we're trying to learn how to run this one play. Then he just jumps the passing lane and takes it the other way. It's like, well,
yeah, thanks, guys.
What can we do?
What does the coach say about that? Good play, Guy, or is he like, come on, Guy?
they understand. Like Guy's argument for that is pretty fair. Like there's a lot of teams that are gonna do the same exact thing, and we just got to learn how to play around it.
Yeah, it is a fair point, right? They see that set play a couple times. There's going to be a guy that third time around who's going to be looking to steal that if you're just locked in on that. Because I'm assuming it's not a set play, right? You got multiple options.
Yeah.
So if guy's going to cheat on it, you got to recognize because you can burn him if he's going to cheat. Right?
Yeah.
Killian, what's your go-to shot? Confidence check. Let me see if I can get this one.
Other day at practice, it was that top of the key shot.
Yeah, I was gonna say when Brandon's guy goes over, he drives, I pop, throwback three.
Okay, nice.
He hit like 5 in a row the other day. Just
top of the key.
Yeah,
Same
we were
spot.
like nobody else was scoring. Like I was struggling, our 2 other guards was struggling, our 4 was struggling, and Kill was the spark.
Yeah.
What about post moves? You got to go to baby hook, double move. What do you got?
Normally spin baseline, but right now like little fade, go middle, and then just little fade.
Nice.
So
effective.
Create some separation, especially to shoot over Matt.
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
How tall is Matt?
6'11".
Yeah.
Oh man,
7 feet.
Yeah, I can see why the fade might be necessary there.
Yeah, sometimes.
Because what are you checking in at, Killian?
6'7".
6'7", 6'6". Okay, 6'7".
Nice. Solid 5 inches on him.
Yeah, that's how many 7-footers do you see in your guys' league?
Not many, to be fair.
Yeah.
How tall is Van Cosby? Like
I don't know.
6'8"?
I've never seen him play in person.
I think he's 6'8". But no, we don't normally see too many footers.
Matt's probably the only one, or one of the only ones.
Close to, yeah. 6'11".
Mason Walters was quite tall. Actually.
Mason Walters
he was
looks
like
tall.
6'10".
He's at the University of Wyoming now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he found a way to go up. Nice.
Yeah, transferred to play his 5th year, I think. Yeah, his 5th year.
Is that pretty common where you see a lot of those players transferring out, or is it only, is it a very smaller number than what you'd expect?
I don't think it's common seeing players at our level transfer out, but it's very common to see players that easily should be at a higher level.
Yeah.
And that just comes with like their situation in high school, what recruiting was looking like, how much exposure they were getting. There's talent everywhere, and that's just how it is. I mean, people bash on the NAI because it's like the lowest level, but like there's some dudes that are like absolute dogs.
Oh, I'm sure I can get cooked in that league. It's like I don't even. It's any time, especially when you talk about the league today. It is growing like crazy. There's so many good basketball players now. And that's why even in the NBA, you'll have times where it's like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
And he's just killing. You go to the G League, and it's a whole nother league, but you have guys there that dominate on that level that if they go to the NBA, they're quote unquote not that good.
Yeah.
And it's insane the levels of competition there are in the game of basketball.
This is a good time to bring up that debate.
Oh yeah. Okay. So Hastings, on the drive back, guy said something to Coach Nyes about him dropping 50 on a women's team, and Coach Nyes disagreed with him. So then we got into this debate about
a professional like the Las Vegas Aces.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the debate was, would Doane men's basketball team beat the WNBA champions?
Yeah.
What are your guys' thoughts?
I think a lot of, so like there was two sides of the argument, and there was like we would get killed or we would kill them. I honestly think it's a close game. It's like in between, just because like though they're skilled.
We're playing their rules though.
Yeah,
like we're
we are playing
them,
their
their
rules.
court, their rules.
The ball doesn't matter. We're not going to factor the ball in here, like the size of the basketball.
Could
We could, but
I always wish they just why don't they all just play with the same ball? Is it really that much of a difference? I've never understood that.
Really isn't.
So girls can palm it. How many girls are palming it to dunk it anyways?
Not many.
Not many. And the ones that are, like, they have massive fan, they could palm a men's basketball.
Yeah.
Never understood that one. But anyways.
Honestly,
continue.
I think it's a close game just because, you know, we're athletic. We're tall. I mean, their tallest person is like 6'7". Well, we have Matt, who's a footer.
6'4".
6'4".
Yeah.
Never mind.
On the roster.
Yeah. But I think it'd be a close game just because they're literally paid to play basketball, like on a different level than us, because we're getting paid to play basketball too, but we're getting paid to go to school and play basketball.
Paid to be a student athlete.
Yeah, paid to be a student athlete. But they're making a lot of money. They're on a different level of skill when it comes to basketball.
Yeah, I think to me it'd be I'd have to really dive into, because you guys might get gilled on execution, right? Because that's their job. 3-point shooting. They're gonna be lethal.
Yeah.
Like really lethal. So if you're not closing out, your best bet would be physicality, athleticism.
Physicality could be a foul though.
Yeah, it could be.
That's true.
Could be
if
a
we're
foul,
playing
but
by
if
the
you're playing,
WNBA rules, yes.
Yeah. So it could be interesting. I might be leaning towards WNBA. It just depends what level, right? Because if I think you take the very best high school basketball team that's got players, you know, like number 2 player in the country who just committed to Rutgers. Surprisingly, I wasn't seeing that one coming. But if you take teams like that, like I think I maybe give the edge to that high school basketball team because they got some NBA caliber dudes. Where it stops, it's hard to figure out. I'm not sure. To me, it'd be if they're shooting their typical numbers, that's a tough game because, like you said, can't just foul them. They're going to be making shots, and they're elite 3-point shooters.
They're not going to miss many free throws either.
No, they're not going to be. You guys would have to be locked down on the perimeter. If you guys can lock down on the perimeter, I feel pretty good with the 7-footer on the inside.
Play without hand checks. Play without low elbows.
Yeah.
It'd be tough.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see. This is a conversation that it's been happening forever. The WNBA consistently is trying to figure out their viewership. And the problem is their demographic is guys. Like you would think it'd be girls. The girls aren't watching WNBA. The only people that really support it and try to get to grow are other guys. And in their 40s and older.
Yeah.
That's kind of their demographic. How do you think you can get the WNBA some more viewership? How do you fix that demographic? Because you got to get the girls involved. Like those got to be the people that watch it. I would think, right? Because most guys are going to turn on NBA.
Yeah, I feel like you got to advertise it a little bit more because I just never know when the season's going. I never knew that their season's only 32 games. First of all, like one day, me and my AAU team we were just at a hotel. We turned on the TV next to the WNBA All-Star games going on. We had no idea that was even happening, and if we just get a little bit more, advertise the WNBA a little bit more on like TNT, on Fox, like whenever the NBA games are going on, I feel like, and maybe they are, who knows? Because I don't pay attention to like the ads. But I feel like you should get it out more, just a little bit.
I think they got a huge opportunity here with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Like you got 2 well-known stars already at the college level. You have to capitalize on that because like my girl, she loves basketball. She's going to turn on the NBA before WNBA. That's a huge problem if you're the WNBA. You got a girl athlete who loves basketball who would rather watch the guys play than the girls.
Yeah.
You get superstars. Like we were locked into that LSU versus Iowa because it's Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. If you can continue to really, really market those guys, like I think that's what they need to do. They've tried it with other superstars, but I felt like they were just a little too late.
Yeah.
And like they were already kind of in the league. They're already pros. And it almost feels like the college is a bigger stage right now for the girls than the WNBA level.
Yeah, you got to get that next level to come up.
Yeah, because and it's also hard because like now with NIL, like there's a lot of those athletes like seeing no point in going to the WNBA because unfortunately they don't get paid much at all.
Yeah, I mean, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese got to be making more, I'm sure, in college than they would in the WNBA.
Yeah, and then like you got Paige Buchers, who was, I mean, she dealt with injuries, but she stayed a good amount of years at UConn. And yeah, I mean, NIL is definitely making an impact on that the wrong way,
because they're selling out like Iowa basketball games. Did you guys catch when they had it at
when they copied Nebraska?
Yeah, they took a page out of Nebraska's book.
Yeah.
And they didn't obviously break the record for women's attendance, but it was packed.
Yeah.
To watch Caitlin Clark. I'm like, they are going to sell out seats with Caitlin Clark. LSU's going to sell out seats with Angel Reese. Even though it's been a little bumpy road for LSU so far and Angel Reese. But I think if she can get back to full strength, I think that's the key, right? Like, who's your, you probably have a guy that you really got in the NBA. Who is that guy for you?
Oh, I can't think of one right now. You got one?
Like someone that I know?
Your first like player that you watch and you're like, wow, I love watching this guy play, and it really got you.
Oh, okay. The first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because for me, it was Kobe. Like I started watching Kobe and I was obsessed with NBA after that. Every single time Kobe played, I was watching.
Yeah.
For me, probably LeBron.
Yeah.
But I used to watch a lot of high school, like Ball is Life clips.
Okay,
highlights. So Jalen Green as well. He's always been fun to watch. Zion Williamson. He's always been fun too. So I would probably LeBron.
I would have to narrow it down to two. Jason Terry, which I think I talked about our first, just because like my dad was a Dallas Mavericks fan. Dallas Mavericks were always on. I thought he was pretty cool because he had a headband. Just because of that, because I was young. Or Derrick Rose, prime Derrick Rose,
youngest MVP ever.
Yeah,
as a Bulls fan, that hurts.
Yeah, biggest what if.
Yeah,
NBA.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy, right? Because he's balling out still.
Yeah,
he's still a really good player despite all the setbacks. But when he had that 50-point game, you remember for the Timberwolves?
Yes, he was crying after the game too.
I was almost crying with him.
Yeah,
that brought me to
honestly, yeah.
So I was like thinking about like all the great highlights, and I'm like, man, he almost got forgotten. Then here he is again, scoring 50 points at the NBA level. But yeah, nonetheless, we got to throw it to break here. We will continue this conversation, maybe talk about the NBA midseason tournament a little bit here on the Doane Athlete Project. We got Killian and Brandon from the Doane basketball team. Don't go anywhere. We got 2 segments left.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
This is how we do every day. We be grinding, and if you want to come and text us,
if you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music.
This is Mommy's jam.
Then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong. They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People Seeding Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
What if that happened to Nebraska? What do you think would be going on right now? If somehow, some way, miraculously, Matt Rule and company went undefeated, and because we lost our starting quarterback, you forgot about the entire 100 and how many ever guys, as if it only took the quarterback to get Florida State undefeated. NCAA, make it make sense. Committee, make it make sense. There's no rhyme or reason to your selection.
Don't be surprised if your kids seem bored when they have some time off from school. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. While kids may not miss the confinement of the classroom, they may miss the routine of the school day. Help them add some structure to those free days by planning special projects. Rearrange a bedroom, plan a family meal, increase that batting average, and keep it fun.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them?
By their clothes,
their age,
the way they speak.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello, welcome back to 93.7 FM, The Ticket. You're watching Court Vision with BTO and Kill, streamed on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and the Allo channel 95.1. We want to start off this second segment by giving a quick shout out to our JV team, Doane men's basketball JV team, who are actually playing right now at Concordia. Solid team they're going up against. Shout out to Coach Niz, Coach Larrabee, Coach Prince, Coach Richmond, and all the players, because they are hooping right now.
Yeah, they're playing well.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to them. So those guys have an opportunity to move up or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of them are actually being moved up after Christmas break.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. And some of them do deserve it. They are playing really well. Mason Crumbliss right now, he is averaging a solid, I think, 14 points off of like 70% field goal percentage. Jonan Clausen from Creighton Prep, he's averaging, I don't know how much he's averaging, but he's doing really good, and he's shooting like at least 40% from three right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That helped the shooting slump out. You get some of those guys in the mix. Does that put pressure on you guys? Can you guys get moved down?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a little bit of talks of that, but try to keep our mind off of it. Just focus on our next game.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like any league, right? NBA, you can move down to the G
Yeah.
League. You can't focus on that though.
Yeah, no.
But speaking of Prince, right? We talked about it a little bit off break. Apparently you went to the same school as Britt Prince.
I did indeed.
And obviously committed to Nebraska, which is huge, because I'll tell you what, women's sports here at Nebraska, they do an awesome job about keeping in-state talent in.
Yeah.
And Britt Prince is definitely one of those. What was that like watching her? Because I'm curious, what point did you know, like, oh man, she's next level material?
So I heard about her coming in. So we were a brand new school, obviously.
Yep.
And like I knew a couple girls on the team because they're my friends, and they were telling me about this one girl, freshman, coming in. She's like, she's coming from Fremont, and like Fremont is a powerhouse high school for girls basketball.
Yep.
And they were like, her mom is coming in and coaching the team, and then her daughter's going to come in, and she's amazing. I watched her highlight reel. I'm like, okay, she's pretty skilled for her age. And then Like the first game, she dropped like at least 20 points as a freshman. I was like, yeah, she's good. She's the real deal.
And then it just kept going.
Yeah.
And kept going.
Yeah.
And
Like
kept going.
she is now in her 3 state championships in a row, which is crazy. We've been open for school for 3 years now. So
wait, that school's 3 for 3?
Yeah, 3 for 3 for girls basketball as of right now. And Britt is now a senior, and in their season opener, she dropped 45 points, 42, 45 points.
I believe it.
Yeah.
She dropped 40 on me. Like, I'm not. She could probably break my ankles. I'm like, that's one thing when I was watching her. Like, it's not like she's got some obviously athleticism, but it's not even that athleticism that would kill me.
She's just skilled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have such a hard time guessing what she's going to do. So that's why when we're talking about that WNBA, I'd be curious, right? Because that's one where it's like, how good is that execution?
Yeah.
It just might completely throw you off your game, especially when herself, she might have a tough time scoring against the 7-footer that you guys have. But a 3-level score nonetheless. Who knows? Might be able to get your 7-footer to jump up in the air.
Maybe
And
she
get
doesn't
easy
need to
foul
go
trouble.
into the paint. Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah. When did you guys have the opportunity to watch her? Killian, did you have an opportunity to watch her yet?
No, not yet. No.
Okay. This will be a fun one. When we get to the when basketball's all said and done, we get to the playoffs. Brandon, you set him up on that because she is so fun to watch.
They'll be at state. They'll be at state.
There's no question.
There's no question.
Dropping 40 points in her season opener, my lord.
Yeah, it's crazy. And they got a transfer just last year from Fremont, who was her AAU teammate, who is also D1. And they're ranked right now. Britt is 1, and she's number 2. McKenna Murphy, she's number 2. So they have the top 2 players in the state on the same team. Just
absolute powerhouse.
Yeah,
both guards.
Both guards.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, have you guys ever? Who's that one player that you guys encountered that you were like, man, this guy is next level stuff? Have you guys ever met any of those guys that you had to play against where you're like, I don't know what the ceiling is, but it's way higher than most?
Yeah. For me, probably Josh Dix. Have you heard of him? He played at Abraham Lincoln, Council Bluffs School, committed to Iowa. He's at Iowa now.
Yep.
Either between him or Jaden Dawson from Omaha Central, and he plays at Loyola Chicago. He just dropped like 26 points.
Yeah, I figured I was waiting for Dawson. I know probably one guy you encountered, but yeah, he's the real deal.
He's good.
What about you, Killian?
Tozan and Wabu. He used to play for Princeton.
Okay.
So met him when I was like first summer playing basketball, 15. Just from the first time I saw him walk on, it was like, oh, okay, this guy's pretty good. And then the next year, he just got even better. He got bigger. He grew like 2 or 3 inches. Next summer, he was really balling. He used to play for England quite a lot as well. Another guy, Blake Bowman, he was a like 6'5", super athletic, super quick guard. I think he went D1 to Kansas State, but I don't know. I don't think he stayed long.
Okay.
I know he's back in the UK playing pro right now. So
yeah, it's always kind of fun when you meet those guys because you don't have to second guess it. You know, I'll remember my C2, C2, you're not thinking you're going to have the greatest of great athletes, but we had a guy named Stephen Hillis who would go on to play for the Air Force. Unfortunately, he turned out he had diabetes. So he had to leave the Air Force. Now he's playing, I think, for South Dakota SDSU. He had to go down. But it was crazy going up against him because we kept running this play in football practice, and I was playing the edge rusher, and he was pulling on the crack.
Yeah.
And they messed it up, so we ran it again. They messed it up, so they ran it again. So I took like 5 crack blocks in a row from him, and on like the very last one, like I just went down. I was like, I'm not taking this anymore. Like I was at that point, like we already knew he was D1 caliber, and I was like, I'm getting killed out here.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you. Like he would crack block me, and I would fly like 40 yards.
Those hits add up.
Oh yeah. And it was insane. And I knew right then and there, like, yeah, football's not my calling card. If this is what it looks like, I am nowhere near that level. But it is good to kind of have those experiences to let you know where I was at, because I was at a point where I couldn't even compete with him. So it's like, maybe with you guys, it's like, yes, this guy's better, but I can at least compete with him. I was at a point where it's like, yeah, that's what the level's at. Nowhere near it.
Yeah.
It's always fun to kind of see those players. You got any other players that you encountered early on that just really took off?
I gotta think. Reggie Thomas of from Hastings. He's not D1,
familiar.
but he's easily a D2 or D1 talent. I've played him at least like 20 times, and because like we'd always face off him in summer leagues. I'd face him off in AAU, never in the school regular season because he played at Westside Class A.
Yep.
I played at a Class B school. But I would always see that dude. We're pretty good friends though, and I love him. But he's tough to guard. He's just like a big bowling ball that can shoot.
Yeah, got to shout out those Nebraska athletes. But let's switch pace here a little bit, and we'll dive into it more on the next segment. But you guys were talking about it, the midseason tournament in the NBA. I'll be quick on it. I thought it was going to be a dud. I think it's been actually awesome. What are your guys' initial thoughts?
The atmosphere of those games are completely different, and like the way the players are playing, like they're actually looking like they're playing for something. Which I mean, they are, but like I didn't expect the in-season tournament to have that much of an impact this quickly, because like it just seems like a playoff environment, like a Game 7 playoff environment. Because it's a one-game elimination. Like if you lose your game, you're out. So it's awesome to see. I hate the courts though.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. The courts are horrendous.
Disgusting.
They're pretty bad.
Looks like I'm watching like Boise football. Yeah, I got the blue turf field. I can't stand that. It looks, especially when you see the Lakers.
Yeah.
Oh, Lakers got one of the worst color schemes for that.
The one right now in Las Vegas for the final four teams, it's like red and blue. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
Killian, I don't like the courts. That's me and Brandon don't like the courts. But initial thoughts on the midseason tournament?
Courts suck. Yeah, I have to agree with that. But no, I think the players have bought in. They're definitely playing with more like fire and aggression than I thought they would for like a midseason. Because in the past there's been a lot of guys like resting games or limited minutes or whatever. But it's good to see people actually buying in and playing hard. So yeah,
especially Tyrese Halliburton.
I'm glad you brought up the Pacers.
He is hooping right now. It's crazy.
He's averaging 20, rounded up 28. It's 27.9 points with 28 points and 11.9, so 12 assists per game.
Yeah,
an insane double threat.
Yeah, and he's killing teams. He smashed Boston's hopes and dreams of winning that tournament with that 1-1-3. That was insane. That was crazy.
And the Pacers in general, have you noticed how much more they really love it? Because it's a younger team.
Yeah.
Their money isn't this big.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh man, we might get $500,000 if we could win this thing. Like if you've been watching that Celtics game, there was not a single Pacer throughout like pretty much the entire second half sitting down. They are so locked in. The Pacers right now are probably my favorite league pass team.
Yeah.
Like the amount of effort they play with. And we talked about Tyrese Halliburton, my Lord. And I think their offense is like close to averaging like 130 points per game.
Yeah. Yeah.
All their guys can shoot threes. Their defense is funny because they give up the paint. Like they close out on the perimeter. They'll let all the guys attack the paint. And they're like, okay, Miles Turner, it's all on you. You're here to protect the rim and whoever else is that help defender rotating over. And they're okay with giving up a lot of points in the paint just because if they do get a stop, it can lead to quick transition buckets. All in on offense. It's so fun to watch. Maybe we'll have to dive in on the Pacers more, but go ahead.
It's definitely surprising. And another team that's pretty surprising is the Minnesota Timberwolves. 16-4 right now. Rudy Gobert is actually playing like a NBA center, how an NBA center should.
Let's talk about that. Because Rudy Gobert, the comeback of Rudy Gobert, I think a lot of people are down and out on him, but the Timberwolves, surprisingly, a strong contender in that Western Conference. But don't go anywhere. The Doane Athlete Project here with Killian and Brandon. We got one more segment on the other side.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place, and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
In a classroom. It happens wherever they are, all day, every day. What you teach your child at home is every bit as important as what they learn in school. Talk to your child about your family, your history, the food you eat, the holidays you celebrate, and the values that are important to you. Tolerance, honesty, respect. Remember, you are your child's first and most important teacher.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Don't be surprised if your kids seem bored when they have some time off from school. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. While kids may not miss the confinement of the classroom, they may miss the routine of the school day. Help them add some structure to those free days by planning special projects. Rearrange a bedroom, plan a family meal, increase that batting average, and keep it fun.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
I'm Christy. I used to smoke cigarettes. I had smoker's cough and severe shortness of breath, and I knew I had to quit. Then I tried e-cigarettes, but I just ended up using both. I really didn't start to get better until I quit smoking completely. My tip to you is just cutting down on the number of cigarettes you smoke isn't enough.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Everything we do, from our jobs to our hobbies, to the stuff that makes us who we are, all of those things come with the tool of the trade. I'm Trooper White of the Nebraska State Patrol. Wearing your seatbelt can reduce your risk of injury by 50% in a crash. So, every time you get in a vehicle, remember to use the tool of the trade, your seatbelt. This message presented by the Nebraska State Patrol and the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello, welcome back in our final segment of 93.7 FM The Ticket. You're watching Court Vision with BTO and Kill.
Yeah, we're talking about those Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yep.
The surprise of Rudy Gobert and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Real quick, I'll pull up the standings real quick here to update on where everyone sits, but how realistic is this for the Timberwolves to keep this up?
I don't know.
It's a long season.
It is a long season.
It's a very long season.
I mean, the Utah Jazz last year they had a heck of a start of the season, and then next thing you know, they were were they a playing team? I don't remember.
For the Timberwolves, yeah.
Or the Utah Jazz last year.
They were on the outside looking in or a playing team.
Yeah, that's why I thought, because they had a really good start. They were at the top of their conference, and then it wasn't a sustainable, like the way they were winning, it just wasn't sustainable for that long, grueling season that they have to go through.
Yeah, but just real quick, incredible. 16-4. Yeah. Leading the Western Conference at number one. And second, Chet Holmgren, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. My Lord, that's a scary duo in itself. 13-7 second. And then the Nuggets without Jamal Murray as of late, 14-8. I still like the Nuggets as the best team because I think when Murray's back,
they're unstoppable.
Yeah.
Jokic is still good.
He's still his
MVP.
stats are insane.
Jokic is that guy.
Murray's out. Jokic says, cool, I'll average 30 points for the month. I'll average 12 rebounds and 9.8 assists as well.
While also wishing to go home.
I wish I was, out there coaching my horse jockeys out there. It's just incredible. But Killian, Timberwolves leading, Thunder second. Then it goes real quick. Nuggets, Mavericks, Lakers, Kings, Suns, Pelicans. Those are your 8 playing teams. That's going to shift a lot. We won't dive into those. But what are your thoughts on the Timberwolves, and who do you think this early on should still be the favorite in the West?
I like the Nuggets.
Me too.
Yeah. So Timberwolves, I don't know. As I said, like long season. We'll just have to see what happens with injuries and stuff. Let's hope Rudy Gobert can stay healthy.
Mm-hmm. And Anthony Edwards too.
Yeah.
He's been incredible.
So I don't know. We'll see. What about you?
It's got to be the Nuggets. I mean, they're just a well put together team. They have their one centerpiece. They have their second and third option in
they got
Jamal
Aaron
Crawford
Gordon out there, Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah.
Great player still. I do wonder if they're going to miss Bruce Brown.
Yeah. He's on the Pacers now too, right?
He's on that Pacers squad.
Uh-huh.
And speaking of which, since we've been talking about that midseason tournament, a quick update. Unfortunately, it does look like the Lakers are going to beat down the Pelicans. It's a 21-point lead right now. There's still 7 minutes in the third quarter. Could change. But this is awesome. Today, the Indiana Pacers for the midseason tournament semifinal took down the Milwaukee Bucks 128-119. So now we got the Pacers versus what's likely going to be the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yep.
LeBron, you knew he was going to go for that first midseason tournament trophy. He was not going to let that one escape him.
Yeah.
Can the Pacers take down the Los Angeles Lakers? Because I guarantee you, I'm pretty confident the Lakers are going to pull this one out, especially being up 22 points now.
Yeah.
I mean, Lakers have been playing great recently. LeBron and AD have actually clicked a little bit now. So
just sucks for the Pelicans. That's virtually the worst matchup they probably could have gotten. Bunch 100%. Of young guys and then some old veterans. The GOAT, some people would say. Personally, not my GOAT, but the GOAT, some people would say.
You're an MJ guy, right?
I'm an MJ guy.
Okay.
But honestly, I don't think you can compare the two.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
Different eras of basketball. Anyways.
Like if I had to choose like gunpoint, choose now, I'd choose MJ.
Yeah, I would too. I hate having those arguments. Like, yeah, you do. You need to figure it out, but it's like LeBron in Michael Jordan's era, he's a big dude. He can probably play that physical basketball.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan in LeBron's era, Michael Jordan could shoot threes.
Yeah.
He would have figured it out. You know, once he really started practicing his 3-point shot, he actually shot at a pretty decent clip. So it's like, to say they wouldn't transition, they would both transition. There's just no real way to tell how it would fully work out in the end. But again, I think a lot of people always go, MJ's 6 straight titles.
I think it's
hard to beat.
Yeah, it's way too heated of a debate when there's so many factors that can go into it.
That's definitely shifting to LeBron. The older and older, the further MJ gets away, the more it feels like LeBron comes into the prominent discussion. But you guys both, who do you have for the finals? You got Pacers or Lakers? Assuming it's Lakers, because I don't think the Pelicans are going to. It's a 26-point game now, as we keep talking about it.
Lakers for me.
I think it'd be close. I don't know.
I don't think LeBron's going to let that slip.
Both teams are really hot right now. I mean, you can't really stop either of the two. I mean, it'll be a good game. I'll definitely be tuning in. I don't have a favorite here.
It's gonna be a dogfight.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm definitely going for the Pacers. Are you kidding me?
Oh, for sure.
LeBron's got enough trophies, man.
Like he's got to get every accolade though.
He does. But you know, if I'm a MJ guy, obviously I'm a Bulls guy. I need to keep that one away from him because that's unfair. I think you know, MJ would have 6 straight if he had the midseason tournament probably. But nonetheless, we got to get out of here. I'm hoping for the Pacers to win that midseason tournament. You see those guys, $500,000 on the line. That's a lot for those players that aren't on those supermax contracts.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah. But who do you guys got next for the next basketball game? How can people tune in to watch some Doane basketball?
We played Northwestern College on Saturday at 6:45 p.m. at Orange City, Iowa. I think there's a stream somewhere. I'm not too sure. Probably just look up Northwestern basketball stream and you'll find it.
Or even Doane's Men's Basketball Facebook. It's on there, or the Twitter. It should be on there too.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Check it out. This has been the Doane Athlete Project. Be sure to catch their game upcoming here shortly. And shout out to Brandon and Killian for joining me here on Ticket Weeknights. This is going to wrap it up for us. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday night.